Good evening and Malay Vanakkam to fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. With immense pleasure, I welcome you all to the joint meeting of CTM and Tamizhootru Chennai Solvendargal Mandram, an eclectic mix of two unique clubs. It's CTM's 812th meet and Tamizhootruக்கு 249வது சந்திப்பு. The mission of every Toastmaster club is to provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in such a way the members are empowered to improve their communication skills and leadership qualities, hence resulting in greater personality growth and self-confidence. Members of the Toastmasters are guided by a set of essential core values: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Before moving on to the meeting, I would like to brief upon certain rules which is to be followed throughout the meeting. Kindly keep your mobile phones on silent mode. Do not talk about taboo topics such as politics, religion, and sex. Kindly sit in a silent atmosphere so that you can hear the speaker clearly. Kindly be on mute until it's your turn to speak. We strongly advise to have your videos turned on for a convivial meeting experience. If you have any message to be shared or conveyed during the meeting, kindly use the chat box below. Please rename yourself with a prefix saying guest or Toastmaster and the role played in the meeting, which I have shared. I have shared the meeting template in the chat box. I hope everyone is all set and ready to get into the meeting. Now it's time to call upon our presiding officer. Before I hand over the control to her, let me introduce the presiding officer in a few words. Our presiding officer for the day is a CA by profession and has been a Toastmaster for 2 years. She had been an ExCom member as SAA, VP membership, and VP education at CTM. Singing is one of her hobbies, and she has a special interest in Tamil devotional songs. Now let's welcome our presiding officer, Toastmaster Dilan. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishnu, for that very warm introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. It's a very special moment, isn't it? The first community club in Tamil Nadu and the first bilingual club in India have come together for a joint meet. Being first to do something is always very special, isn't it? Do you recollect reading about the first man who set his foot on moon, Neil Armstrong? Do you remember the second? No. This is because being the first is not very easy. It requires a lot of determination and courage. The courage to be different, to step out of your comfort zone and do something not just for yourself, but for all the people around you. Today, the members, the founding members of the club and every member of CTM and Tamizhootru Club have put in all the efforts to set up clubs like these, which are giving back so much to its members and the society. On this note, I would like to formally declare meeting number 812 for Chennai Toastmasters Club and 249 for Tamizhootru Club open. I would like to formally recognize the presence of a founding member of Chennai Toastmasters Club, Distinguished Toastmaster Nina John, the Region 13 Regional Advisor, Distinguished Toastmaster Suganthi Periyasamy, the Area Director, Area C4, Distinguished Toastmaster Venu Nilakandan, Area Director, C3, Distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Sauri Rajan, and Area Director, Area B2, Toastmaster Viduran. Now, moving on to the meeting for today, to take the meeting forward, we have the Toastmaster of the day. Now, to introduce this person, he's a Toastmaster for 2+ years, and he is immediate past president of Chennai Toastmasters Club. He is also the division level evaluation contest 2021 runner-up. Over to you, Toastmaster Abhilash. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster, for those warm words of introduction. For the first time, I was not trembling because of the way you introduced me, but I was trembling because of today's meeting. When the first Tamil Toastmasters Club of India and when the first community club of Tamil Nadu do come together, there is always a sense of expectation. And for me, there was an additional sense of expectation. let me put it this way, speaking in Tamil for me is, see, my mother tongue is Tamil, and this is not something I'm really proud of. I'm ashamed of, but speaking in Tamil has been somewhat of a very, what do I say, fearful thing for me. Okay. So I was trembling because of that. I will tell you why in a few minutes. But before that, Vanakkam Chennai, Vanakkam Tamizhootru Chennai Solvendargal Mandram, and very happy evening, Chennai Toastmasters. Sorry, give me just a minute. Yeah. So let me tell you why I actually have this fear of speaking in Tamil. Okay. So is my screen visible? Could someone just confirm? Yeah. So
Yes.
thank you. So a very small sign, so this was the sign which when I was around in 6th or 7th standard, I saw this particular sign outside my school where some electric work was going on. A very simple sign, right? So as I think someone told, Aatkal Velai Seigirargal. But at that time I was very, I don't know, elementary, and I by mistake read that as Aadgal Velai Seigirargal. So it was, what do I say? And at that particular moment, all my teachers were behind and they all were coming out of the school gate. And everyone out near me started laughing. It's not Article, it's Article. What are you saying? Goat or men? Please differentiate. And since then, there has been, okay, stop sharing. Since then, I've been kind of very embarrassed to speak in Tamil. But in these last 2-3 years, there have been a few inspirations. One was a speech I heard from distinguished Toastmaster Venu Neelakantan, and the second was one of my colleagues in my office who was a literal Tamil poet. So these two people have, what do I say, inspired me to go in and start reading Tamil more and more. And in that sense, I have gone in, and so inspired by DTM Venu, I have started reading this Kamba Ramayanam. And of course, Tirukural, I knew so many couplets by heart, but I didn't know the meaning of any of them. So now I have taken it as a personal goal to go in and read these meanings, and it has left me in wonder of this language. So in that sense, oh, sorry, there is some problem in my screen share, is it? Yeah. So and it has been a very grateful journey for me, and I'm sure that all of us here, sorry, yeah, and so in that sense, I'm really happy that all of us here are collaborating on this venture. So just one small couplet in Tamil and I will hand it over. Kal tondri man tondra kalattai mun tondriya மூத்த மொழி என் தமிழுக்கும் வீரம் நிறைந்த தமிழ் மண்ணுக்கும் எனது முதற் வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்து இந்த கூட்டத்தை தொடர்கிறேன். And now it is time for me to introduce to you all the next person, a quality manager for today's meeting. Our general evaluator for today is distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Sauri Rajan, a PhD in chemistry from IIT Madras. He has retired after 34 years of R&D. He is a Toastmaster for 20 plus years. And currently he is serving as the president of Medley Toastmasters Club, as well as the area director for area C3D120. Distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Sauri Rajan, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you, handing over the stage to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day, Abhilash. It's a very great day when we are having such a joint meeting between two pioneers in their own way. One is the first club in Chennai, another is the first bilingual in India. So everybody is happy, but let me caution you. This world is not that friendly. Even before days of CC camera, you are always being watched. Today, you are being watched by an evaluation team during this meeting. May I tell you that evaluation is the third most important thing in Toastmasters. Evaluation is the third most important thing in Toastmasters. So today I am supposed to be the administrator for all evaluation efforts in addition to giving my own thoughts on the overall conduct of the meeting. So evaluation is done as a means of continual improvement for Toastmasters. Every time you do something, you have to check whether you have done very well or so-so or bad, how it is. In quality management, we have got Deming cycle, plan, do, check and act. You prepare, you perform, and then the evaluators come, they do the checking. They give you the feedback, you can go back and act on them again. So today's evaluation team, as usual, has got two wings. One wing is the parametric evaluators. The next one is the project evaluators. Let me now have the pleasure of introducing the parametric evaluators. We have three of them: the timer, co-counter, and the grammarian. Today's timer, as we call in our club as a Nera Kapalar, one who minds the time, is Toastmaster Sharad. He is a research scholar at IIT Madras in Structural Engineering Division, Toastmaster for the past 3 years at CTM. Passionate in doing exercise, reading books, and teaching. Toastmaster Sharad, which is your hostel in IIT?
Kaveri.
Kaveri, very good. I was in Alaknanda, Tapti, and Krishna. Maximum time in Krishna. Okay, you are welcome now to brief the gathering about your role today. Toastmaster Sharad, the timer.
Thank you so much, my dear senior and general evaluator of today's meeting. So, good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Today, I'm going to play the role of timer role. Many of us might be think, Toastmasters, are they helpful in maintaining time? Can we learn time management with Toastmasters? Let's just think for a minute. If you want to know the value of 1 year, ask a district official. It can be a district director, division director, or area director who had a lot of plans but still 1 month left to go for their term. If you want to know the value of 6 months, ask the club president, who is just outgoing club president, who still has a lot of plans to execute for the club, but don't have time since his term is ending. If you want to know the value of 3 months, ask a VP membership who was in search of members and for renewal of new term. If you want to know the value of 1 month, ask a contest chair in a speech contest who took the role at the last 1 month and fighting to get the role players for the contest successfully happened. If you want to know the value of 1 week, ask our VP education who aims to run the meeting smoothly in a week of time, still manage to get role players on time. If you want to know the value of 1 minute, ask the surgeon at arms who opened the meeting after 2 minutes delay and got shout from the president. And if you want to know the value of 1 second, ask a participant in ISE World Champion of Public Speaking who got disqualified because of 1 second and missed this World Champion of Public Speaking title. And finally, if you want to know the value of 1 millisecond, sorry, I haven't found. So we know Toastmasters give a lot of importance to time management. So today I'm going to play the role of timer. I'll be displaying a green card when the speaker reach a minimum time. I will display a yellow card when the speaker reach an intermediate time, and I will show the red card when the speaker reach the final time. So I'm going to show all these cards again and again. So let's maintain our time and make this meeting a beautiful one. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Timer, for that very elaborate explanation of your role. If you want to know the value of a millisecond, ask Usain Bolt. He will tell you. Now let's go to the next role player, which is A counter. We call in Tamil as Asaikolli. Asaikolli means killer of the useless sound. Today's A counter is Toastmaster Vignesh. Vignesh is an electronics application engineer working in Qualcomm, a leading chip maker. My hobbies are reading and self-help books and Toastmastering. It seems to be a very studious person. A lot of people say my hobbies are traveling. They will say whether they do it or not. But Vignesh is happy with his books and Toastmasters. Toastmaster Vignesh, please brief us about your role today.
Thank you, DTM Sambat. Greetings, Mr. and Madam Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a fetch or pass filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, this means, that means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times each speaker used these expressions. Back to you, DTM Summit.
Thank you very much, Accounter. Next, we have today's grammarian. Today's grammarian, known in Tamil as Ilakkana Vanar, is Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayan. Lakshmi Narayan works as software engineer in Applied Materials India for the past 17 years. Electrical engineer by qualification, but software engineer by profession. He likes long drives and trekking. May I invite the grammarian Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayan to brief his role and also to introduce the word of the day. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayan.
Thank you, General Evaluator DTM Sampath Saurajan sir. Ellarkum vanakkam. And good evening, Toastmasters, guests, and my dear friends. Today I'll be the grammarian, and as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuse or good usage of the words, any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. And today, the word of the day is eclectic. I repeat, the word of the day is eclectic, which means deriving ideas, style, or taste from a broad and diverse range of sources. The examples are universities offering an eclectic mix of courses. And another example could be his house is an eclectic mixture of the antique and the modern. I recommend each of you to use the word of the day as much as possible. And I'll give a word of the day report and the good decision, bad decision of the words by the end of the day when called upon by the General Evaluator. Over to you, General Evaluator.
You're on mute, sir.
You're on mute.
The host is not allowing me to unmute. I am on mobile, Sampath mobile.
Yes, sir.
Sampath sir. No, sir, I think you're still on mute.
Sir, please accept the request.
Sir, no, sir, you're still on mute. I think.
Yeah, sir, you are now on mute. You can speak.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
From my
Yes, sir.
desktop? Okay, thank you. The three role players, timer, accountant, and grammarian. I request all the speakers and performers today to make a serious note of the inputs given by the evaluation team, more seriously than normal, and make the best of it. Thank you, and back to the TMUD.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Saurirajan, for your briefing on the general evaluator. We'll be back with you towards the end of our meeting. So today, it is a meeting between two pioneer clubs. One is Chennai Toastmasters and the other is Tamizhootru Chennai Solvendargal Mandram, each a pioneer club in its own way. How much more better can this meeting get? What is the icing on the cake for this particular meeting? We have a third pioneer in his own way, a champion speaker with us today to give us key points on the international speech contest. Welcoming Toastmaster Dilan Joseph. To tell you all a few things about Toastmaster Dilan Joseph, by profession, he is a manager of the digital channel experience at Amna Bank. In Toastmasters, he's been a Toastmaster since 2015. He's also the immediate past president of Amna Bank Toastmasters Club. He's won the humorous speech contest of Division F, District 82 in 2018. And he is a semi-finalist of the international speech contest at the World Championship of Public Speaking from our very own region, Region 13. Toastmaster Dilan, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you to our meeting. Welcome. The stage is all yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vilash, for that lovely introduction. Every time that someone reads that introduction, what comes to my mind is I was a Toastmaster since 2015. What happened to me for almost 3 years? I was quiet. I paid my dues. I didn't take up any roles. Still, you could be a Toastmaster. But the real discovery starts from the time that you engage with Toastmasters in each and every role. So that helped me to become one of the semi-finalists at the International Speech Contest. I'm sure most of the seniors had seen my journey in this very forum itself, from the speaker, from the MC to the semi-final stage. Now, let's go to the business. How many of you have decided to contest in this season? Raise your hands. Right? Now, I'm sure that others, let's put them into two categories. One, they want to try, but they're scared. The second, seniors, they want to give the priority for the juniors to contest. How many are there? Surprisingly, no one. Let me put it this way. Now, if you have a fear of contesting, you need to replace it with the fear of missing out an opportunity that is bigger than the fear of contesting. You can replace any fear with that fear of missing out that opportunity. The day that you stand in front of the camera nowadays, or the days that you go in front of the crowd and prepare and deliver that speech that you are keeping for a long time in your mind, it's an opportunity. So I want you to take it up. The second, the seniors who have decided, okay, let's all the youngsters do the contests. Let me mentor them. Let me help them. Let me provide them what is required. Sir and madam, you are the benchmark of district 80, 82 at the time and 120. Whatever you have in experience, you need to put it out and be the benchmark for all the youngsters. I'm sure that regional advisor would agree with me. When the pathway came into play, all the youngsters took and all the seniors said, okay, we'll proceed with the traditional way. And what happened? We lost the quality of the pathways at the initial stage because all the youngsters did and all the seniors had contributed on the other ways. Instead, what if they take up at the initial stage on pathways and started the pathways, then you directly involve with the quality. You directly do the benchmark. I want you to do the same thing for the international speech contest as well. You have seen 20, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of speeches already. You know the benchmark. The reason why I'm telling that, in an international speech contest, mentor play a vital role because mentors groom the contestants to get that experience which the speaker didn't have. Mentor helps with all the other areas that has seen in the contest. So now you don't have the fear and you're ready to contest. What's the next step that you should take? Are you going to script your speech? Before that, I want you to tell your VP Education, I'm going to contest. Get that commitment there. Then find your speech if you have not already decided what to do. Right? Now let's do a small activity to start with the workshop. I want you to write a quotation that you would love to share with all of us. A quotation that you would love to share with everyone. And I will get 3 volunteers, and those 3 volunteers will share that quote, and we will find who is the first, second, third of sharing this quotation. Right? Now I need 3 volunteers.
Well, can I share?
Yes, you're one. Let's get all 3. Abhilash is there.
Yes.
Okay. Toastmaster Rekha is there. And our grammarian Lakshmi Narayana. Right? Okay. Now these 3 Toastmasters, listen to me carefully. Your only focus is to win. Nothing else. Even a tsunami hits, your focus is to win. No matter what happens, you're gonna win. Now, shall we start with Abhilash?
All right. Whether a glass is half full or half empty depends upon how you view the glass in your perspective.
Good. And shall I move on to Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana?
Yes. So be happy and content with what you have and be excited on what you're going to achieve. That's my course.
Good. And Toastmaster Rekha?
You become what you think.
You become what you think. Right. Now, three of you all. What was your main focus? To win, right? Now I want you to think in a way with this quotation that you're going to change the entire world. All three are equally strong. All three has a beautiful message in it where you can inspire someone. Abhilash, shall we repeat that quotation? Your focus is to give a gift to this audience. You repeat the same quotation.
You want me repeat the same verbatim?
Same quotation, but this time you're going to gift the quotation to this audience and you're going to inspire them.
Whether a glass is half full or half empty depends upon how you are going to view the glass.
Beautiful. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayan.
Okay. So don't worry about your failures. Be happy with what you have achieved, what you have now, and be excited about what you're going to achieve.
Good. Toastmaster Rekha, remember, you're going to inspire each and everyone in this audience.
So just a doubt, you want to add few more things on the quote or just repeat?
No, just the same quotation you did.
You become what you think.
I'm sure that audience, please give a round of applause to these three lovely Toastmasters. I hope you understood the basis of International Speech Contest. It's not what you're going to win. It is what you're going to gift to the audience. That makes you the champion. So your scripting and everything should be in a focus of this. What happens is especially in our region, we have a large amount of population in our countries. We have one seat for an interview, and to get through to that seat, for that seat also thousands of application comes. Because of that, we are running a race to win. The same thing had happened in our Toastmasters contest as well. The time that you try to deviate and try to give a gift to the audience, your expression change, your vocal variety change, the emphasis of the words change, your heart speaks out. How many times that we try to go to that rat race and try to win that, and it shows in our gestures that become more aggressive. So remember, International Speech Contest is speaking from your heart. Every time when you walk onto that stage, remember, until you practice, until you walk into that stage, that particular speech is yours. The time that you start to deliver, that speech is not belong to you. That speech is belong to the audience. So when you're drafting your speech, that's the basic foundation that you should have in your mind. Understood? Right. Now let's see what are the famous elements in an international speech. We have, if you see the international speech contest for the past 20 years, different eras bring different strategies to go on that stage. Storytelling is common to all, I would say. Now, when you're delivering a speech, the famous one is you come up, you give an opening of what you're going to tell, and you bring few stories, and from that stories, you bring an underlining you call it not punchline. You call it one of the lines that you bring, like, I see something in you. So it's, I see something in you. You repeat few more times, then end audience knows that I see something in you. They remember that. And at the same time, if you see the recent speech contests, the same as the main line of your speech, they bring repetitive gestures. They bring repetitive sounds as key of the speech. If you see last year, 2021, Nitai Levi, who was the first runner-up, he used a laugh. So that was his line to get the audience. And there are speakers who bring different gestures. For an example, let's take someone that every one of us knows, Rajinikanth. Bring his way of remembering him with his gestures. Now, the same thing you can take onto the stage, right? So it could be one story, it could be 3 stories, or it could be 2 stories, and you bring out a message line where audience could easily remember. One thing that you have to be very careful when you are drafting your speech should be logically connected. At the beginning, if you say, I want everyone to be focused on the environment and make our environment a better place. At the latter stage, you can't deviate that benchmark that you have made or the logic that you have brought. In many cases, what happens is, at the conclusion, we draft it later and we do it in a rush and we miss out the complete story until the end. The opening of the speech and the ending of the speech remembered by the audience more than the middle section of your speech. How many of you do music? Singing? Right? I'm sure that your trainer is practicing you more on the opening and the ending. How to end, how to start. Those are the 2 particular parts that every time that you practice. The reason is the beginning of the song. Keep the interest whether to listen to the song or not. The same way, the speech also the same. How you bring out your gestures, your eye contact. In a Zoom session, yes, unfortunately, rather than seeing the crowd, we all started to love the eye of the camera, right? So eye contacts, your gestures, everything should be aligned at the beginning of your speech. How many of you have seen the semi-final speech of mine? How many of you have seen the final speech of the International Speech Contest last year? You need to understand the contest. To do that, you have to watch the previous contests seasons, right? Last year, it was different. Previous year, Micah was different. Then, of course, we had the online platform, physical meetings, different logics. You have to recollect everything and decide what you're going to, what and how you're going to deliver at this season, right? Now, I'm sure that you would have more questions when it comes to the International Speech Contest. You may ask if you have any.
Toastmaster Dilan, Abhilash here.
Yes, Abhilash.
What role, I mean, how do we incorporate humor and what role does humor play in our speeches for the ISC contest?
Good question, Abhilash. Good question. The reason why we say you need humor in a speech to keep the interest going on. Have you seen any speeches without humor?
No.
Right. Let me tell you. Recently, they have done a survey of taken 10 speeches which the previous presidents of United States has given. The most memorable speeches are without humor. Okay? The reason is humor also can be replaced with the emotional activities that you are bringing in your speech. Of course, the humor is the most effective one, but you can take the same weight of humor through making people sad, suddenly making people happy, taking them to an achieving mind. You can take the same roller coaster. But as you clearly said, humor is one of the important things because it is more effective than the others. So whenever you are bringing humor, make sure that your stage personality is being kept safe, right? Abhilash's question brought me to a different spectrum of how you're looking at a person who is speaking. Speech is different, speaking personality is different, right? Now what happens is we always focused of the speech. We spend time on speech drafting. We use metaphors, we use similes, we use different type of things. You call them triplets, couplets, that repetitive words, but we forget the stage personality. You and me as a stage personality, right? So that comes with practice. Nothing is genuine. I repeat, nothing is genuine without practicing. When I was at the division contest last year, I was ready. The speech contest was supposed to start at 9 o'clock. 8:20, I was ready for the what you call the audio video check. Soon they read my name. Dilan, are you ready to get your audio video check? Power went off. Power cut. I checked the Ceylon Electricity Board website. Okay, it's a 6-hour power cut. All I could remember was my parents are living 6 kilometers away. I gave him a call. They have gone to the Sunday Mass. I removed all the strong lights in my house. I took my laptop. I took the camera. I took few things where I can keep the laptop. And I packed everything in my car. I called my wife. She was 9 months pregnant, 8 months pregnant. And she also jumped into the car and we went to my parents' place. Luckily, they had power, but they both were in the church. My wife went to call my parents and come. Until that, I opened the gate of my house and the dog was in the cannon. I checked twice whether the dog inside and locked. I opened the gate. I parked my car to see it had opened the lock and running outside the door, outside the gate, outside the garden. Now, trust me, this dog was 4 feet tall, a Doberman. Only thing which struck on my head was, am I going to do my speech in the house or in jail? Because if that dog has done something, done. I ran almost 2 kilometers up and down to catch that dog. Remember, the contest is at 9 o'clock. Somehow, I pulled him and put in the cannon and locked. Then my parents came. We changed all the lights. It was about almost 9 at that time. The contest chair took on a separate device and checked my audio video. I was the 5th speaker to speak. I was in front of the camera. I couldn't stand properly. I felt my nerves was pumping blood from my legs. The only thing that I could hold on to was there was a recording Distinguished Toastmaster Sudash sent me, encouraging me on the previous day. So I repetitively listened to it. Imagine I gave it up at at any particular moment, what would have happened? I was confident because I practiced my speech. That's the seriousness of practicing. Even the entire world could go wrong, but your confidence is with yourself because you're practicing. I told you, nothing is genuine unless otherwise you practice. So your practice plays a vital role, right? Any other questions? Because ISE is about you're clearing your mind and focusing on to the path. Every stage of your contest after club level, think it's a new beginning. When you done with the club, when you go to the division, after division, think it's a new beginning. That's how you polish up your speech. That's how you upgrade yourself. There were sleepless nights, I would say. Every time I sleep, okay, there's the speech. I need to practice. I wake up and I come to my study room and I practiced. Every stage of your speech is challenging your comfort zone. Simple as that. International speech contest makes you a new person. For me, the transformation happened with the contest. Any questions?
Dilan, may I ask a question?
Yes, madam.
Is it a good strategy to have the same speech from club to district, where you have a lot of the same judges might be hearing you at the different levels? Or is it better to change your speech at either the area or the division level and risk a whole new set of judges?
Good question, ma'am. The reason why I say good is, no, this is a question that most of the speakers has. I would answer like this. If you listen to my division speech, because from the division only I started this the gap speech. From division to semi-finals, it was the same speech. I changed few lines, but something beautiful is there. You see the transformation of mind in every stage. It's the same speech. It's the same speech. The person that you are developing, the person that you're training can do that magic to that speech. So I do recommend for you to have 2 speeches until you go to the final stage, because the final speech is kind of a challenging speech for all the contestants, because the international stage, soon after your semi-finals, you're focusing on the finals. Because of that, I want you to practice 2 speeches and keep. From club to district, play with strategies, because the reason why I say this, the club and area, I did a different speech. Then division, I brought my trump up. The reason was people might challenge me on a different way when it comes to since we are on a contest. But you can play your cards by showing your professionalism, development, transformation, even the same speech that you're repeating. Judges might like it, of course, because judges would say, okay, Dilan delivered this speech, but this time I see something more in it. It's the same speech. So you can challenge that way, but if you want to play a little bit of strategically, you can have to few speeches that similar what you call these qualities. Yes, of course.
I agree with you because I have seen Dhananjay at the very first butterfly speech, and I see something, and from there, it is he who has changed, not the speech.
Not the speech, exactly, ma'am. Yes.
I have a question, Dilan, for you.
Sure.
It's been a pleasure listening to you. So this is a question beyond the speech, beyond the preparation. The international speech contest is a long marathon. Right? At least other contests ends at the district level, but this goes beyond district. So it's indeed a marathon. So what did you do to keep your motivation levels high at various stages?
The motivation comes with your focus. If you have a goal, that itself become a motivation to you. Now, you might get few iconic speakers and study them more and try to imitate, not imitate, I would say, try to get things from them. But Toastmaster Venkat, District Toastmaster Venkat, I would advise you, be your own inspiration. As I said, you have a goal and you are moving on and you have lots of challenges. As you clearly said, it's a long marathon. Now, after district, I never thought that I would go to the regional. So I thought of resting because that was hectic. That last season was hectic. Practice, we were stuck in the house also. It was a lockdown for Sri Lanka at that time. So you are staying home and you're continuously remembering that speech that you want to deliver, and it was hectic. What kept me going was my mentors who advised me, your stop is not here, your stop is far away. That place you might thinking of resting, but still you would not, but keep that as a goal, right? So you have to work on that. And I got involved in more talking platforms. That keeps you going because end of the day that you need to love the camera, as I said, and you have to make sure that you go effectively use the screen. Now, one thing that Dhananjay Hettiarachi was taught me was, I asked him how to practice, not myself actually, in a forum that we asked him how to practice onto the international speech contest to keep the things moving on. He said a beautiful thing. He said, your practice is not on the stage. You practice in your day-to-day life and then go onto the stage and deliver. Right? Get this meaning of it. Because you are not the speaker who is on the stage. You are among everyone. You are a speaker in your life. Semi-final stage transformed me not as a speaker, as a person who made me more humble, I would say. So that's the reason that many of the speakers who goes to the final stage share without keeping anything to them. So that humbleness makes a perfect personal life, and as a speaker, it gives you more ideas. The key of the key for empathy is the key. You call it humbleness. So it makes you a person who is complete. Right. I think the time is up. If there are any short questions, I would, yes, Rekha. Are you on mute? Sorry.
Yeah, you gave like you picked example from Dhananjaya's speech, and I've seen other forums also like where Dhananjaya's speech has been taken as an example. So I want to know what one aspect or what are the aspects which has made Dhananjaya's speech to be taken as example after so many years, even though there are so many winners after him who has followed him.
Good question, Rekha. One thing is why we are taking Dhananjay Hettiar actually is he was from our own self.
Yeah.
District 82. That was the one key reason that we all take as an example. The other one that I see is his speaking style and everything is one of the turning point of the international speech contest for me, according to the way I see. Because if you see all the speeches before that, it had a different pattern, but Dhananjaya broke it.
Okay.
He was free, he was flawless, and he was very confident. It could see in his personality. I'm sure that many of few of you all might have seen on the live stage when Dhananjaya was speaking on that very moment. It has become a benchmark for many speakers. I spoke to a few of the semi-finalists last year. In fact, I created a group of semi-finalists to keep everyone in the loop. Many of them had seen Dhananjaya's speech, but they might have not seen a few speeches after him, or they don't go and deliberately see before that. So Dhananjaya's speech was a benchmark in the international speech contest.
Right. Just to add one more thing, like I have seen people outside Toastmasters also like referring to Dhananjaya's speech as an example. So I thought I'd just share that. Like, yeah. Thank you very much for answering my question.
Right. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I delivered my speech, which I kept for almost about 22 years. 22 years, something that I badly wanted to give to everyone. Now, my question is, when are you going to deliver that badly wanted speech that the rest of the world want to hear from you? The sky is your limit. The stage is yours. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vilash.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dilan. What a session this has been. Right from the beginning, when you said you should not speak to win, but your speech should be a gift to others, to the ending, I am sure by your words, I should not be surprised if champions are going to evolve from this crowd over here. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dilan, for that incredibly wonderful session. It is now time for us to move on with our meeting. For the benefit of all our guests, every Toastmasters meeting has 3 sessions. The first is the prepared speech session, where speakers with preset target objectives come and deliver their speeches. The second session is an exciting one, the table topic session, where everyone, including the guests, are invited to speak impromptu. And the third session is a session which is at the heart of the Toastmasters moment, evaluation, where all the prepared speakers as well as the entire meeting is evaluated on a set of parameters. So it is now time for us to move into the first session, the prepared speech session for today. So please excuse my Tamil if I do make any inadvertent errors, disclaimer given. இன்று நம் முதல் பேச்சாளர் மேன்மைமிகு சொல்வேந்தர் வெங்கடகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்கள். அவரை பத்தி சில அறிமுகங்கள். அவர் ஆர்ஆர்டி நிறுவனத்தில் செயல்முறை மேலாளராக இருக்கின்றார். அவர் தமிழூற்று சென்னை சொல்வேந்தர் மன்றத்தின் நிறுவன பொருளாளர். இன்று அவர் அவரோட மோட்டிவேஷனல் ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜிஸ் பாதையில் இருந்து 2ஆம் நிலை 3வது திட்டம் Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring இல் உரையாற்றுவார். அவர் உரையை தொடங்குறதுக்கு முன்னாடி அவரது மதிப்பாளர் சொல்வேந்தர் ரேகாவை அவரது பேச்சு குறிக்கோளை சொல்ல அழைக்கிறேன். Solvendar Rekha.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abhilash. Good evening, everybody. Vanakkam. Solvendar DTM Venkatakrishnan is going to deliver his speech on Level 2, Project 3, Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring from the Pathways Motivational Strategy. And the purpose of his speech is, the purpose of the project is for DTM Venkatakrishnan to clearly define how Toastmasters envision mentoring and also to share some aspects of a previous experience as a prodigy. இதையே தமிழில் உரைக்கம் ட்ரை பண்றேன். இந்த பேச்சின் நோக்கம் தாங்கள் டோஸ்ட்மாஸ்டர் சங்கத்தின் வழிகாட்டி பற்றிய விளக்கம் மற்றும் அறிவுரை பெறுபவராக தங்களின் அனுபவம் பகிர வேண்டும். நன்றி. Solvendar DTM Venkatakrishnan, வாழ்த்துக்கள். Over to you. To the Toastmaster of the day.
நன்றி Solvendar Rekha. மென்மைமிகு Solvendar Venkatakrishnan. எனது மதியறிஞர்கள் Solvendar Venkatakrishnan.
நீங்கள் வேகமாக செல்ல வேண்டுமா? தனியாக செல்லுங்கள். மிக தூரமாக செல்ல வேண்டுமா? ஒரு துணையுடன் செல்லுங்கள். இந்த சொல்லாடலை நாம் வெகு அதிகமாக கேட்டிருப்போம். இது எதற்கு பொருந்துகிறதோ இல்லையோ நமது சொல்வேந்தர் மன்றங்களுக்கு மிகவும் பொருந்தும். சென்னை டோஸ்ட்மாஸ்டர்ஸ் கிளப், தமிழ்நாட்டு சென்னை சொல்வேந்தர் மன்றம் உறுப்பினர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். நான் இன்று உங்களிடையே தேவதைகளை பற்றி பேசப் போகிறேன். இந்த தேவதைகள் வெள்ளை உடை அணிவதில்லை, அவர்கள் வானத்திலிருந்து குதிப்பதில்லை, அவர்களுக்கு சிறகுகள் இருப்பதில்லை, அவர்கள் நமது அருகிலேயே இருப்பார்கள். நமக்கு எப்பொழுது தேவையோ அப்பொழுது நமக்கு உதவுவார்கள். நமக்கு எப்பொழுது உதவி தேவையில்லை என்று நினைத்தாலும் அவர்கள் சிலதை சொல்வார்கள், அது மிகவும் சரியானதாக இருக்கும். அப்படிப்பட்ட சில தேவதைகளை பற்றி நான் இன்று பேசப் போகிறேன். அந்த தேவதைகள் யாரும் அல்ல, நமது சொல்வேந்தர் மன்றங்களில் இருக்கும் மதியுரைஞர்கள் தான். Those who are wondering what I am talking in Greek and Latin, I am talking about my own mentors in Tamil in front of all of you. 2014 ஆகஸ்ட் 15 கரெக்டா ஞாபகம் இருக்கு எனக்கு. நான் ஒரு போஸ்டர் பார்க்கிறேன் என்னோட ஆபீஸ்ல. இன்று ஒரு சொல்வேந்தர் கூட்டம் நடைபெற போகிறது, அதற்கு ஒரு சிறப்பு விருந்தினர் வரப்போகிறார். அவர் பெயர் அங்கே குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தது. நான் பார்த்தேன். அவரை பார்த்தவுடன் எனக்கு இவர் நன்றாக பேசுவார் போல் இருந்தது. இவரது பேச்சை நான் நிச்சயம் கேட்க வேண்டும் என்று விரும்பினேன். அதற்காக சொல்வேந்தர் மன்ற கூட்டம் என்னவென்று தெரியாமலே அந்த கூட்டத்திற்கு நான் சென்று விட்டேன். அங்கு போன பின்புதான் எனக்கு தெரியும் அங்கு நம்மையும் பேச சொல்லுவார்கள் என்று. எனக்கு தூக்கி வாரி போட்டது. என்னுடைய துரதிர்ஷ்டம், நான் எதிர்பார்த்து சென்ற அந்த பேச்சாளர் அன்று வரவே இல்லை. நான் எதற்குத்தான் அந்த கூட்டத்திற்கு வந்தேன் என்று என்னை நானே நொந்து கொண்டேன். கடைசி அவர்கள் ஒன்று சொன்னார்கள், இது டேபிள் டாபிக் செஷன் என்றவர். நான் நினைத்தேன் டேபிள் மீது ஏறி ஏதாவது பேச வேண்டும் போலிருக்கிறது என்று நினைத்தேன். அவர்கள் சொன்னார்கள், அப்படியெல்லாம் இல்லை, உங்களுக்கு ஒரு தலைப்பு கொடுப்போம், அந்த தலைப்பில் நீங்கள் 2 நிமிடம் பேச வேண்டும். முதல் பேச்சாளர் பேசினார், 2வது பேச்சாளர் பேசினார், 3வது பேச்சாளர் பேசினார். கடைசியாக அந்த நெறியாளர் சொன்னார், இது கடைசி வாய்ப்பு, யாராவது எடுத்துக்கொள்கிறீர்களா என்று. என்னை அறியாமலே நான் என்னுடைய சிரிக்கை விட்டு எழுந்து விட்டேன். மேடைக்கும் சென்று விட்டேன். அந்த நெறியாளர் ஒரு தலைப்பையும் கொடுத்து விட்டார். இப்போது நான் இன்னும் நொந்து கொண்டேன், எதற்காக நான் மேடைக்கு வந்தேன் என்று. இருந்தாலும் முயற்சி செய்து பார்ப்போமே என்று பேச ஆரம்பித்தேன். 2 நிமிடங்கள் தொடர்ந்து பேசினேன். அந்த பேச்சின் முடிவு கைத்தட்டல் பலமாக இருந்தது. ஆஹா, என்ன ஒரு அருமையான கூட்டம். அன்றில் இருந்து நான் சொல்வேந்தர் மன்ற கூட்டங்களுக்கு தவறாமல் வருகிறேன். அன்று ஒருவர் அந்த கூட்டத்திற்கு வராமலேயே என்னை சொல்வேந்தர் மன்றங்களில் சேர்வதற்காக ஊக்கப்படுத்தினார். அவர் யாரும் இல்ல, நமது டிடிஎம் மீனா ஜான் அவர்கள் தான். மீனா ஜான் அவர்களே, அன்றைய கூட்டத்திற்கு நீங்கள் வராமல் இருந்ததற்கு மிக்க நன்றி. சொல்வேந்தர்களே, எனது மதியுரைஞர்களை பற்றி நான் பேசும்பொழுது என்னுடைய முதல் மதியுரைஞர் சித்தி ஜேபி அவர்களை என்னால் மறக்கவே முடியாது. அவரிடமிருந்து நான் 2 விஷயங்களை கற்றுக்கொண்டிருக்கிறேன். ஒன்று, அவருடைய ஆங்கில புலமை. ஒரு ஆங்கில பேச்சை எழுதும் பொழுது எவ்வாறு சுருக்கமாகவும் தெளிவாகவும் எழுத வேண்டும். சொல்வேந்தர் மன்றங்களில் நமக்கு கிடைப்பதெல்லாம் 6 முதல் 8 நிமிடங்கள் மட்டுமே. அந்த 6 முதல் 8 நிமிடங்களுக்குள்ளாகவே எப்படி ஒரு கருத்தை நாம் தெளிவாகவும் எளிமையாகவும் பார்வையாளர்கள் கடத்த வேண்டும் என்கிற ஒரு அளப்பரிய ஒரு கட்டளை நான் அவரிடமிருந்து பெற்றிருக்கிறேன். குறிப்பாக நான் போட்டிகளில் பங்கேற்கும் பொழுது அவர்தான் என்னை வழி நடத்தினார். ஒரு முறை நான் போட்டியில் பங்கேற்பதற்காக ஒரு பேச்சை தயார் செய்து அவரிடம் கொடுத்தேன். அவர் அதை பார்த்து கொண்டிருந்தார். சொல்வேந்தர் மன்றங்களிலே சிறப்பு என்னவென்றால், பேச்சை நீங்கள் தயார் செய்து உங்கள் மதியஞ்சரிடம் வழங்க வேண்டும். அவர்கள் அதை படித்து பார்த்துவிட்டு உங்களுக்கு மதிப்புரைகளை வழங்குவார்கள் அல்லவா? அப்பொழுதெல்லாம் எனக்கு எப்படி தெரியுமா இருக்கும்? இப்படித்தான் இருக்கும். ஒரு பேச்சை நமது மதியஞ்சரிடம் வழங்கி அவர் என்ன சொல்வாரோ, நல்லா இருக்கிறதா, எதிலும் குறைகள் இருக்கிறதா என்று மனதில் 1008 எண்ணங்கள் ஓடிக்கொண்டே இருக்கும். இருந்தாலும் அந்த ஒரு முறைதான் என்னை ஒரு சிறந்த பேச்சாளன் ஆக்கியது என்று சொல்வேன். ஒரு முறை நான் போட்டியில் பங்கு பெறும் பொழுது அவர் என்னை, நீ பேச்சை எழுதிவிட்டாய், நன்றாக தயாரிப்பும் செய்து விட்டாய், இப்பொழுது நீ அதை என்ன பேசி காட்டு என்றார். நான் தான் என்னுடைய பார்வையாளன், இங்கே இன்னும் ஒரு 100 பேர் இருக்கிறார்கள் என்று நினைத்துக்கொள், இப்பொழுது பேச என்றார். நானும் மிகவும் சிரமப்பட்டு அந்த பேச்சை 8 நிமிடங்கள் அவருடன் முன்னால் பேசி காமித்தேன். அவர் கூர்மையாக கேட்டுவிட்டு மறுபடியும் அதை செய் என்றார். நானும் மறுபடியும் அதை செய்தேன். திரும்பவும் 7 நிமிடங்கள். அதையும் கேட்டுவிட்டு சொல்றார், ஓகே, மறுபடியும் அந்த பேச்சை வழங்க என்றார். நான் சொன்னேன், என்னை ஏன் இப்படி கொடுமைப்படுத்துகிறீர்கள்? போட்டிக்கு போவதென்றால் தயார் செய்து விட்டேன், உங்கள் முன்னும் செய்தும் விட்டேன் என்றார். அப்போது அவர் ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயத்தை சொன்னார். ஒரு பேச்சாளருக்கு தயாரிப்பின் மீது மிகப்பெரிய நம்பிக்கை இருக்க வேண்டும். தூக்கத்தில் எழுப்பி கேட்டாலும் உன்னுடைய பேச்சை நீ வழங்கும் அளவு திறன் பெற்றிருக்க வேண்டும். அப்பொழுதுதான் உன்னால் திறன்பட ஒரு போட்டியில் கலந்து கொள்ள முடியும் என்றார். அந்த அறிவுரை தான் என்னை 5 முறை போட்டிகளில் பங்கேற்று டிவிஷன் லெவல் வரைக்கும் என்னை வெற்றி அடைய செய்தது என்று நான் நினைக்கிறேன். இரண்டாவதாக என்னுடைய மதியறிஞர் ஹரிஷ் குமார் சுப்பிரமணியம் அவர்கள், இவரும் ஆர்ஆடியை சேர்ந்தவர். அவர் எனக்கு விட்டு சென்ற மிக முக்கியமான ஒரு கற்றல், எந்த ஒரு பேச்சை எடுத்தாலும் அந்த பேச்சில் பார்வையாளருக்கு ஒரு செய்தி இருக்க வேண்டும், ஒரு கற்றல் இருக்க வேண்டும். 7 நிமிடங்கள் நீங்கள் மேடையில் பேசினால் அதை கேட்பவர்களுக்கு அதிலிருந்து ஒரு கற்றல் இருக்க வேண்டும் நிச்சயம் என்ற ஒரு படிப்பினை நான் கற்றுக்கொண்டேன். இதையெல்லாம் தாண்டி நான் தமிழ்நாட்டு சென்னை சொல்வேந்தர்கள் மன்றத்திற்கு வந்தபோது அங்கு எனக்கு பட்டாபி அவர்கள் ஒரு மிகச்சிறந்த மதியறிஞராக கிடைத்தார். அவருடைய அடுக்குமொழி எனக்கு மிகவும் பிடிக்கும். அவருடைய தமிழ் புலமையும் ஆங்கில புலமையும் என்னை மிகவும் ஊக்கப்படுத்தியது. பட்டாபி அவர்கள் மட்டுமல்லாம விஎன்எஸ் அவர்களின் பல்வேறு கவிஞர்களை பற்றி பேசும்போதெல்லாம் என்னுடைய தமிழ் ஆர்வம் தூண்டப்பட்டு நான் அவர்களை சென்று படித்திருக்கிறேன். டிடிஎம் சம்பத் சௌராஜன் அவர்களுடைய ஊக்கம் மிகவும் எனக்கு பிடிக்கும். சொல்வேந்தர் குந்தவி அவர்கள் சொல்வேந்தர் மன்றத்தில் என்னோட இளையவராக இருந்தாலும் அவருடைய தமிழ் உச்சரிப்பும் தமிழ் ஆர்வமும் என்னை மிகவும் ஊக்கப்படுத்தியது என்று சொல்ல வேண்டும். இவர்களெல்லாம் என்னுடைய மதியறிஞர்கள். ஏதோ மதியறிஞர்கள் எல்லாம் நான் போற்றி பேசுவதால் அவருடன் நான் முழுமையாக ஒத்துப்போகிறேன் என்ற அர்த்தம் இல்லை. அவர்களிடையே எனக்கும் சில விமர்சனங்கள் இருக்கிறது. சில நேரங்களில் என்னுடைய மதியறிஞர்கள் என்னுடைய தாய் தந்தை போன்ற ஒரு எண்ணம் எனக்கு தோன்றும். ஏன் தெரியுமா? பெற்றோர்கள் தான் தாங்கள் வெல்ல முடியாததை தமது குழந்தைகள் மூலம் வெல்ல வேண்டும் என்று நினைப்பார்கள். அதையும் நான் சிலர் உணர்ந்திருக்கிறேன். இரண்டாவது, முக்கியமாக உங்களது மதியறிஞர்களை அதிகம் நீங்கள் தொடர்ந்து சென்றால் உங்களுடைய தனித்துவத்தை இழக்க நேரிடும் என்பதையும் நான் உணர்ந்து ஒரு புள்ளியில் இருந்து அதிலிருந்து விலகி என்னுடைய தனித்துவமான ஒரு பேச்சாளர் பண்பை நான் பெற்றிருக்கிறேன் என்று நினைக்கிறேன். இன்றைய கூட்டத்தில் என்னுடைய மதியறிஞர்களை பற்றி பேச கிடைத்த வாய்ப்பை எண்ணி மகிழ்கிறேன். அனைவருக்கும் நன்றி, வாழ்த்துக்கள்.
மிக்க நன்றி. That was a very beautiful speech. Thank you, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Venkata Krishnan, particularly where you mentioned that our mentors are like our parents because they want to see us win. I was really inspired. Thank you so much. Now, let us move on to the second speaker for today. The second speaker for today is distinguished Toastmaster Venu Neelakantan. To tell you all a few words about distinguished Toastmaster Venu Neelakantan, he's been a Toastmaster for 8+ years, a past president of Chennai Toastmasters Club. He's also been a club coach for Downtown Speakers Forum Club and is currently the club mentor for Chennai Solvendargal Mandram. He has achieved the highest honor, the Distinguished Toastmaster Award given by Toastmasters International. He's a keynote speaker in many colleges across Chennai, and he has mentored more than 50 plus mentees here in Toastmasters. Distinguished Toastmaster Venu will be delivering his level 3 elective from the motivational strategies path. Before I call upon Distinguished Toastmaster Venu, I request his evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Vidurar, to please state the project objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abhilash. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and Malay Vanakkam Solvendargal Mandram Chennai. So the purpose of this project is for the member to cultivate an understanding of how his emotions impact relationships. It is also designed to help the member to identify how others' emotions impact his emotional state. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his experience journaling emotions or being aware of emotions when interacting with others. Timer, please note the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes and all the best, DTM Venu.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Vidurar. Distinguished Toastmaster Venu, garbage truck. Garbage truck, Distinguished Toastmaster Venu.
இந்த பொன்னந்தி மாலையில் பூப்புக்கு மேலையில் சந்தன காடுகளில் சறுக்குகின்ற சாரல்கள் போல விட்டிருக்கின்ற தமிழூற்று சொல்வேந்தர் மன்றத்தின் உறுப்பினர்களுக்கு வணக்கம். Good evening to my own Toastmaster, Chennai Toastmaster, and the distinguished guest. Once, a man spitted on Buddha. Wiping it, Buddha asked the man, "What else you want to say?" But one of his disciples got angry and he was about to beat the guy. Buddha stopped him and said, he was in such a distress. He found his words are useless. That's why he tried to convey something through this spitting. Try to understand what he is trying to say. In similar another occasion, Mother Teresa, when she was asking a donation from a billionaire, that guy spitted on her hands. Mother Teresa folded the hands and extended another hands. I will take this, give something for my children. After reading these two stories, I was not sure whether those are true, but I was damn sure these kinds of maturity, handling the emotions, only possible by that kind of saints like Buddha or Mother Teresa. But I was wrong, because 2 years ago, when I was traveling in a Ola cab, the driver was so professional, he was driving very carefully. But all of a sudden, at a junction, at a signal, one guy driving his car recklessly, he just jumped the signal. He almost hit us. It's a narrow escape. But the driver, that other driver, instead of asking sorry, he started shouting at our driver as our driver did the mistake. So I was so annoyed. I expected that our driver will get down and give a punch on his face, but our driver acted differently. This guy was cool as cucumber, and he smiled at him and asked him, "Sorry, bro, you can go." I was totally disappointed with our drivers. I asked him, "Man, what the hell you did?" It was apparently very clear that guy did the mistake. Why you ask sorry? Our driver said, "To avoid the situation, sir. It might be 2 seconds, right? I didn't lose anything when I asked him sorry. Otherwise, this incident would spoil my entire days." But I didn't agree with him. "Man, whatever you are saying, you are wrong. You should have punished him." Then he started asking this question. "Sir, if somebody is carrying some cabbage, some nasty cabbage, if they are trying to dump on you, will you accept that?" I said, "Why should I accept that?" Same like this, sir. These emotions are like the garbage. Some people are on road, they are just like the garbage truck. They are collecting garbages from here and there, and they are trying to dump on others. They are spreading it. Wherever they are going, they are spreading it. If I get that garbage, the negative emotions, wherever I will go, I will have to carry on. So I will spoil my entire days. I will spoil my entire relationship. Sometimes it might be a battle because I'm a driver. So to avoid that, many times I politely refuse to accept the garbage by saying sorry. I have read many books on the emotional intelligence, all the elements of 5 elements of the emotional intelligence, like self-realization, self-regularization, or empathy, or so and so. But those eclectic mixture of ideas didn't create any impact. But the Ola driver did that. I realized that, yes, what he said is right. Most of the time, we are just like the garbage truck. We are collecting the garbages, the negative emotions, and we are just dumping the emotions on others. So from that day onwards, I stopped being the garbage truck. That means I never allow others to manipulate my emotions. At the same time, I never toy with others' emotions. Because of this new adoption, I developed a lot of good relation with my boss, my subordinate, my family members. Earlier, whenever my subordinate did something mistake, immediately I started shouting at them. But nowadays I started to realize why they did the mistake. Instead of reacting to the emotion, I try to understand their emotions. My bosses are now, they are feeling that I'm so obedient to them. The fact is, I don't want them to manipulate my emotions. Even though they are wrong, I never inform them that I express my emotions directly, the negative emotions. I never try to dump my garbages on them. It is mutually I am getting benefit. Because I am not dumping the garbages, they are not trying to dump their garbages on me. I feel so happy and emotionally I am stable. Even it is my family members. Earlier, my wife used to see me something I'm emotionally shouting, or sometimes I'm getting angry at anything, everything. But now she feels that I'm good. Something changed my, no meditation or nothing. The Ola driver changed me. Because I realize it is totally waste being the garbage truck. So I request one and every one of you, stop being the garbage truck. Don't collect garbages from others. Don't dump your garbages on others. That means the garbages means the negative emotions. Try that. Definitely you will get benefit of that. Thank you for the opportunity. Back to you.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Venu. That was indeed a riveting speech. Don't transfer your negative emotions to others. What a beautiful message. Now, before we proceed on, I request the timer to please tell us if both the speakers are qualified for voting.
Yes, Toastmaster Abhilash, both the speakers are qualified.
Thank you. Requesting our host to please launch the prepared speakers polls and requesting everyone to please vote for the same. And so before we move on, so distinguished Toastmaster Venu, when he began his speech with a Tamil greeting, I forgot one thing. So whatever I spoke in Tamil today was only because of distinguished Toastmaster Venu's guidance. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Venu, for that able guidance. And now moving on, we now go to the table topic session, the most exciting session of any Toastmasters meeting. And to conduct the table topic session, we have a person who needs no introduction. Distinguished Toastmaster Sugandhi Periyasamy is going to be our table topic master of the day. To tell you all a few words about her, she has served as a president at TCS Maitri and at Medley Chennai Toastmasters Club. She served as the district director of the erstwhile District 82 in 1819 and has led it to become a Smedley Distinguished District. She is currently serving as the region advisor for Region 13. Distinguished Toastmaster Sugandhi Periyasamy, all of us are excited and the floor is all yours for the table topic session.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abhilash. I share your fear for the language of Tamil. Thiruvalluvar is in search of me, and I'm also in search of Thiruvalluvar, just to rip each other apart, because he has given me something that I'm not able to remember and understand completely. And he is searching for me because I completely changed the meaning of all the Thirukurals that he has presented. And you should listen to all the table topics when I speak in my Tamizhootru club. So we have something common, so don't feel bad about it. We'll pick it up as days goes by. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I'll be serving as your master for the impromptu speaking section. I will be presenting you a question, and you are requested to speak about it for 1 to 2 minutes. The timer will show us the green card at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card at 2 minutes. Today, we don't have a theme for the meeting, but since we had our educational speaker, Toastmaster Dilan, who had served as an inspiration, I thought, why not pick up a few scenarios from his contest winning speech, The Gap. So today's table topics will all be based on the various instances that Dilan has shared in his award-winning speech, The Gap. To be our first speaker for this evening, may I invite DTM Nirajan. Nina ma'am, the question to you is, Dilan mentions about his favorite superhero Hulk in a speech. Who is your childhood superhero? Why do you admire him or her? Who is your childhood superhero? Why do you admire him or her? Over to you.
Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Who was your favorite hero? I think when I was a kid, my father was my hero, because whatever I wanted, my father would get for me. I don't think I knew what are the things he went through or whatever, just to get those for me. But I think for all kids, their dad is their hero. So we had this Lambretta scooter, the orange Lambretta scooter. So I would proudly climb onto that and go to school every day. And every day he would have, he was the one in charge of packing lunches for me. So along with all the other things, he would pack one pastry for me every day. Now you know why I have a sweet tooth and why I cannot resist sweets of any kind. I have to blame my father for it. But of course, we had a wonderfully eclectic childhood. So he never said no to anything. Somebody wanted to go on a picnic, a fair, whatever it is, my dad was ready. And he was also a very generous person. So I think that is another role model thing that he did, which I really appreciate. That he was always so generous. Even when after I got married and come to Marina Beach, I remember he was buying ice creams for my kids. And then he rushes out of the car again. I said, please, one ice cream is enough for the kids. And then I found he was buying ice creams for all the slum kids over there. So I said, that's what a role model is all about. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Nina ma'am. In fact, I specifically gave you the topic because I knew that you would speak about C.T. Thomas, sir, and indeed it is a blessing for me to have known him and to have spent some time listening to all the wisdom that he imparted my way. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's now move over and invite our next speaker. May I invite DTM Selvan?
Hello. Yes.
Okay. The Toastmaster Dilan talks about how the doctors told him that they cannot fix him and he has to live with some kind of an injury all through his life. The question to you is, have you ever been told that you cannot do something and you came out with flying colors? Have you ever been told by anybody that you cannot do something and you came out with flying colors? Over to DTM Selvam.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening. That's the entire things that happened in my life. Throughout my life, it happened. It was the only thing that happened in my life. Why I don't know. People always discourage it for some reason or other. Initially, when I completed diploma in engineering, I came to know about AMIE only from friends who believed that I cannot do that. So I asked them why I cannot do that. They say that it is a very tough and very difficult proposition to do AMIE for a diploma holder, especially it has almost 12 subjects. It has to be completed in a year. You have to get the external evaluation and so many other things. And you have to exactly learn from eclectic sources of studies. But that's what prompted me to do that. Actually, I completed in one attempt, single attempt. Then people asked me not to, actually, I was, I could not write my first competitive examination because of underage. So people taught me that, you see, the first attempt is the indication of your life. So I was prompted to write so many competitive examinations. At some particular point of time, that was only my hobby, to write competitive examination after examination. I passed many examinations, and I had to choose from examinations where to join the post and all. But then, at some point, then only I understood that it is a negative emotion. Actually, we should not actually compete with this emotion of going against someone's perceive our preference or their image of us. We have to be positive ourselves. We have to believe in ourselves, and we have to have some goal, and we have to go towards it, and not to go against someone's wish, even if it is a negative wish. That's a late understanding, but still I believe that I have to do what I wish to do, and what I wish to become in my life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, DTM Selvam, for sharing such a profound piece of message with all of us this evening. Moving on, I would like to invite Toastmaster Shivkumar from Chennai Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Shivkumar, Dilan in a speech talks about a very mischievous incident from his life where he jumps off a tailoring machine and breaks his bone. So, tell us about one mischievous incident from your life. Tell us about one mischievous incident from your life. Over to Toastmaster Shivkumar. Toastmaster Shivkumar, you're on mute.
Sorry. Thank you, Toastmaster Sugandhi. Very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and my dear guest. Vanakkam Solvendar Mandram Urupinargalakkum. I could quickly recollect a funny incident or kind of a mischievous thing that I did when I was young. Actually, I was born in Tirunelveli, and my childhood days were in Nellai. And Nellai is a kind of a dry place, and learning swimming wasn't an easy thing. It's a kind of a luxurious affair. So after my grade 10, I had to move to Kanyakumari due to my father's transfer. And Kanyakumari is a place where you have plenty of water resources, and everyone would want to, will take bath in the outside water sources, like the pond or the river and such things like that. And then my wish was always to go there and swim in the ponds and rivers and enjoy. But then my father would never allow me to do that. So I always wanted to go, but my father wouldn't allow. Then finally one day, when we were about to go somewhere, and then I escaped. Slowly I went there and I jumped into the pond, thinking that it is nothing difficult, so that I can very easily maneuver in the water and enjoy. But then I had a hell of a time. I drank so much of water, and then I was battling for kind of to breathe. So that was not only mischievous, kind of a big learning experience to me. And then my father decided to teach me swimming. So you classify it as either mischievous or a nutty thing. But that was one interesting affair that happened where I learned swimming. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Sugandhi.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shivkumar, for sharing such an interesting incident from your life and looking at it with humor when you reflect on it many years later. Thank you. Moving on, I would now like to invite Toastmaster Maithili.
Ready, Sugandhi.
Toastmaster Dilan in his speech says his father gave him a very important piece of advice, and that advice was, everybody is unique in their own ways. You have to just accept the way you are. And what is that one piece of advice that you hold close to your heart? What is that one piece of advice that you hold close to your heart? Over to Toastmaster Maithili.
நன்றி திடீர் பேச்சு டிடிஎம் சுகந்தி அவர்களே. அனைவருக்கும் இங்கு கூடியிருக்கும் சொல்வேந்தர்களுக்கும் விருந்தினர்களுக்கும் எனது மாலை வணக்கம். நான் இந்த சொல்வேந்தர்கள் மன்றம் சேர்ந்தது தமிழ்ல பேசதான். தாய்மொழி தமிழ் இருக்கிறது கர்நாடகா, பெங்களூர். அப்போ தமிழ்ல பேசணும்னா, பப்ளிக் ஸ்பீக்கிங்கா பேசணும்னா இந்த மாதிரி சபைகள்ல தான் முடியும்ன்றதுனால இப்போ இன்னைக்கு கொடுத்த தலைப்பு கூட சுகந்தி எனக்காக தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்ட தலைப்புன்னு நான் எடுத்துருக்கேன். ஏன்னா இந்த தலைப்பை வச்சுதான் நான் என்னோட ஐஸ் பிரேக்கர் ஸ்பீச்சை கொடுத்தேன். அதாவது என்னோட தந்தை எனக்கு மைத்திலின்னு பேர் வச்சோன்னே நான் கேட்டேன், அப்பா எத்தனையோ பேர்கள் இருக்கு, எனக்கு ஏன்பா இந்த பேர் வச்சீங்கன்னு கேட்டபோது எங்க அப்பா சொன்ன முதல் வார்த்தை, சீதைக்கு நிறைய பேர்கள் உண்டு. அவ மிथिलापुरीல இருந்த போது மைத்திலி, கல்யாணம் ஆன டயத்துல ஜானகி, கணவனோட ராமனோட அப்புறம் அசோகவனத்துக்கு போன இடம் வந்து சீதை. அந்த 3 இடத்துல இருந்த போது அசோகவனத்துல இருந்த பேரு சீதான்றதுனால அதை வச்சா உனக்கு வாழ்க்கையே சோகமா முடியறதுக்கு வாய்ப்புகள் இருக்கு. ஆனா மைத்திலின்னு இருந்த போது அவ அரண்மனையில ஜனகனோட மகளா ஆடி பாடி தைரியமா பலசாலியா தெரிஞ்சுட்டு இருந்தான். அந்த பலசாலியா தெரிஞ்சவ என்ன பண்ணினானா, அவளை கல்யாணம் பண்ணிக்கிறதுக்காக சுயம்பரத்துக்காக வச்ச வில்லு அம்புக்கு கீழே அவ விளையாடிக்கிட்டு இருந்த பந்து கீழே போன போது எல்லாரையும் அரண்மனையில கேட்டா எடுத்து கொடுங்கன்னு. அவங்க சொன்னாங்க, இதெல்லாம் எடுத்து கொடுக்குற அளவுக்கு எங்களுக்கு சக்தியும் தைரியமும் வீரமும் இருந்தா நாங்க எடுத்து கொடுத்துட்டு உன்னை கல்யாணம் பண்ணிக்க மாட்டோமோன்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க. ஆனா அவ என்ன பண்ணினா, இதை யாரும் எடுத்து கொடுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறாங்களே, நம்மளே பண்ணுவோம்னு அவளுடைய இடது கையாலேயே அந்த எடுத்து அம்பு எடுத்து திருப்பி பந்தை எடுத்து விளையாட தொடங்கிட்டான். அந்த மாதிரி இருக்க மாதிரி அவ்வளோ பலசாலி வீரமா இருக்கிற ஒரு பேரை வச்சிருக்கேன் உனக்கு. நீ சந்தோஷமா உன்னோட எல்லா காரியத்திலையுமே நீ வாழ்க்கை முழுவதுமே இப்படி இருக்கணும்ன்றதான் ஆசைன்னு எங்க அப்பா சொன்னார். அந்த வார்த்தை இன்னமும் நான் வேலைக்கு சேர்ந்து 32 வருஷம் இருந்து ரிட்டையர் ஆனாலும் அந்த வார்த்தை என் காதுல இப்பவும் பசுமையா ஒலிச்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்கு. அந்த பேரை வச்சதோட பெருமையா நான் நினைக்கிறேன். எங்க அப்பாவுக்கு எப்பவுமே நான் நன்றி கடன் பட்டிருக்கேன். நன்றி இந்த வாய்ப்பை கொடுத்ததுக்கு.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maithili, for sharing what thoughtfulness your dad had and also sharing an interesting tidbit from the epics. Thank you very much. In the interest of time, we will now go ahead and invite our last table topic speaker for this evening, and that would be our guest, Devanai. Devanai, Dilan in his speech talks about practicing. So tell us about one practice that this pandemic has positively introduced into your life. Tell us about one practice that this pandemic has positively introduced into your life. Over to guest Devanai.
Mute. She is on mute.
Devanai, you're on mute, please. Would you unmute?
Hi everybody. My name is Devanai. I've been a part of FlyJack Self-Mastery Toastmasters before. So today I thought, why not I just attend this meeting. So உலகில் தொன்மையான மொழிகளில் தமிழ் ஒன்று. So regarding the table topics, I would like to say what new thing this pandemic has introduced. I would say letting go of things, whatever has happened, just let go of negative things that has happened. We've come through so many things since 2020 March. We've just gone through so many things in a different way. Quarantine, don't use malls, don't use theaters, don't go outside, stay inside, stay safe. So we've gone through so many things which we have all positively handled. So what I would like to say is, like, life might give you a lot of difficult things, a lot of difficult gestures then and there, but still keep going. Positive things are about to come. So I would say I have read many things that say, if you would think like this is the last moment, this is the last thing in my life, I'm not able to go forward, so what I would ever do. So if you think like that, I would just say, your breakup is just close by. It's just close by. So I would like to encourage everybody who going through something tough in their life to just tell them, life has got something so big coming. So that in this pandemic, I would like to say, I would let go, just keep letting go of things which you think is not, that if those things don't interest you more, don't go for it. Just go for things that interest you. It can be a job change at this time, or it can be, joining a club, or it can be going for shopping, something. Make a valuable use of time these days when you want to go outside or when you want to stay inside your home. So I would like to encourage everybody to say, keep going. Life has got a plethora of opportunities for you. And I want this speech to be eclectic with all styles of all styles of speech. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmasters.
Thank you very much, guest Devanai, for sharing such a piece of positive message. With that, we come to the end of the table topics section. Thank you very much to all our table topic speakers for being such a sport and enthusiastically participating in the table topics. Let me now invite our host for this evening, Toastmaster Abhilash, back to the virtual stage.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Suganti. I'm sure if Toastmaster Dilan's speech inspired a few of us, your table topics would have definitely inspired a few more of us to try and participate in the ISC. Wonderfully thought out topics. But let me tell you, Thiruvalluvar will be very angry with me for one particular reason. So the first kural that I learned at school was Karka Kasadara Karpavai Katrapin Nikka Adarkataga. Beautiful kural, right? But due to some circumstances with our Tamil teacher, we ended up modifying that kural to Karka Kasadara Karpavai Katrapin Kattu Kuttavarai Kallaladi. So that's what we did. So when you mentioned Thiruvalluvar Tirukkural, I came to my mind. So thank you. And now, before we move on, I request the timer to please tell us if all the table topic masters were qualified. Thank you, timer, for confirming. Requesting the host to please launch the polls for our table topic session. Requesting everyone to please vote. And now, as you vote, it is time for us to move to the final and the most important session of a Toastmasters meeting, which I repeatedly say is at the heart of the Toastmasters moment, evaluation, a session which helps us to become better versions of ourselves as we move on. And to conduct the evaluation session, our veteran yet young at heart Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Saurirajan, our general evaluator, is going to take us forward. Distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Saurirajan, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good afternoon once again, Toastmasters and guests. So the CCTV camera is back again. So today we had two speeches, one in Tamil and one in English. The first one was in Tamil. That will be evaluated by Toastmaster Rekha. The Toastmaster Rekha is a 7+ years Toastmaster in CTM with breaks. This is a manage a startup called Kalpataru Consulting into project management, PMP, and Agile certification coaching. Placed second in the division level ISC contest and table topic in 2021. So she is runner-up last year. So this year she may be coming back again. Beware other contestants.
Oh.
Now let me invite the evaluator to give her feedback to the first speaker, DTM Venkatakrishna. Toastmaster Rekha.
நன்றி Toastmaster Solvender. அருமையான பேச்சு Solvender DTM Venkata Krishnan அவர்களே. I understand you have been blessed with eclectic mix of mentors. தமிழின் நன்மைக்காக நான் ஆங்கிலத்திலேயே என்னுடைய மதிப்பீடு கூற விரும்புகிறேன். So the objective of your speech or the purpose of the speech is to speak about mentors and your experience as the prodigy. So as a speech, like I love the way you started with a question, which generally pulls the audience attention. And I love the word which you use to speak about your mentors or mentors in general, Devadai, angels. That was excellent. And then the couple of things which I love the most is you are very casual in your conversation. It was a conversational speech and it was a smooth flow. So I loved, like I started envying you speaking in Tamil, though my mother tongue is Tamil. I realized I'm not good in English as well as Tamil today. So you spoke about your mentors, Siddhi JP, Harish Kumar Subramanyam, Pattabhiraman, Toastmaster VNS, DTM Sampath, Kundavi, and you also told like what qualities you liked in them, and especially with Toastmaster Siddhi JP, how he has coached you and how it had helped you to transform you as a speaker, and your experience and how it had helped you to enter the division level contest multiple times. So you had met the project objective. But meantime, I would like to also share, according to me, what you could have done in a better way. So a couple of things again. You took more time to share about how you joined Toastmasters. You could have used, see, your time frame is between 5 to 7. You could have used more time to share about your experience as a mentee and about your mentors. Though you have shared about it, you could have spent little more time instead of spending more time in speaking about your entry into Toastmasters. And then you spoke about your experience, but you could have shared little more as how the mentors has helped you, not just as a speaker and entering into the division level, but overall, including your leadership styles as a person and how these mentors has helped you to groom, which had helped you in your professional life as well. Because the learnings in the Toastmaster doesn't just stays in Toastmasters. So to summarize, I love the way you started with a question, your analogy of referring to mentors as angels, speaking about your Toastmasters, your mentors, and what you learned from them. I would love to hear how your mentors has helped you to improve as a person and in other areas of Toastmastering journey. Thank you very much. All the very best. Back to you, Toastmaster Sampath. Sorry.
Thank you very much. The second speech today was on emotional intelligence by DTM Venu Nilakantan. That speech will be evaluated by DTM Vidura of Tamizhootru Chennai Solvendargal Mandram. DTM Vidura is a long-time member and he is very well known for his first track approach in the leadership ladder. He is working in base as a functional consultant, currently serving as area director of B2. Let us welcome Vidura to come and present his personal feedback on speech number 2 by DTM Venu. DTM Vidura, stage is yours.
Don't transform negativity was one of the powerful message, especially in today's world of pandemic. Your speech boosted me like Ola driver changed you. Your speech has transformed me now not to dump the negative emotions like a garbage truck. Dear members, will you all accept this request? Thank you. Good evening, General Evaluator, and a special good evening to my target speaker, DTM Venu. You pulled off a great speech in a shorter time with a great message, and content. And I congratulate you for successfully completing your main objective of the project. You had a great opening with leaders who are known for emotions, Buddha and Mother Teresa. And you connected simply with an Ola driver and told how it changed your life completely from office to home. Let me evaluate your speech on 3:2:1 ratio, the three things you excelled at. Audience awareness, you connected with the well-known peoples who are known for emotional intelligence and took a very simple incident to connect with all the audience which they face day-to-day lives. And your eclectic selection of topics and your usage of words, they were very easy to understand, and you have beautifully scripted your speech with opening, body, and conclusion. The 2 points where I would like to improve yourselves are your rate of speech. You were just fast. That is, you used almost 90 to 100 words per minute. It would be great if you can slow down your speech rate to 60 to 80 words per minute, which people can understand and feel the emotions of those incidents. 2, your voice modulation. You had maintained the same pitch on an higher note for all the incidents, particularly when you are surrounded with couple of characters like an Ola driver and the other car driver and yourself. You could have shown little bit of modulations of how tempered that other car driver showed and how tempered your Ola driver acted upon it. And one challenge I would like to give yourself is the pauses. You can create a lot of suspenses. In this speech, had lot of varieties of emotions. You could have given a short pause to people to know, to think how it will be emotional for them in their shoes. Overall, your speech was constructed brilliantly, and you called the audience for action, and you persuaded people to dump negative thoughts. If you can work on rate of speech and changeover of pitches between character, I'm sure this speech will hit art in everyone art and make them dump all the garbages. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you. Sorry, there was a slight electronic accident in my system. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now, may I ask the timer if both the evaluators are qualified time-wise?
Yes, DTM Sampath, both the evaluators are qualified.
Thank you. Can I request the host to post the voting panel for the evaluators? Can I take it the voting is completed? Okay. Now let me ask for the report from the parameter watchers, the timer. Please, timer, Toastmaster Sarat, can you present your report?
Yes. So here's the report. Sadhana Dams Toastmaster Vishnu, allotted time is 1 to 2 minutes. Time taken is 1 minute 55 seconds. Presiding officer Toastmaster Abhirami, allotted time is 2 to 3 minutes. Time taken 2 minutes 5 seconds. TMOD Toastmaster Abhilash, allotted time 2 to 3 minutes in the initial part. Time taken 4 minutes 20 seconds. GE DTM Sampath, time allotted 7 to 10 minutes. Time taken 12 minutes. Educational speaker Toastmaster Dilan, time allotted 20 to 35 minutes. Time taken 35 minutes 20 seconds. Both the prepared speakers, time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. Speaker number 1, DTM Venkatakrishnan, took 7 minutes 25 seconds. DTM Venu Neelakandan took 6 minutes 46 seconds. And for TT session, TT Master for explaining the row TT segment took 1 minute 26 seconds. And all the speakers time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. Speaker number 1, DTM Meena John, took 1 minute 40 seconds. Speaker number 2, DTM Selvan, took 2 minutes 30 seconds. Speaker number 3, Toastmaster Sivakumar, took 2 minutes 7 seconds. Speaker number 4, Toastmaster Maithili, took 2 minutes 20 seconds. Speaker number 5, guest Devanai, took 2 minutes 10 seconds. And for evaluation, allotted time was 2 to 3 minutes. Evaluator number 1, Toastmaster Rekha, took 3 minutes 27 seconds. And DTM Vidurar took 3 minutes 19 seconds. So here is my overall. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator. Sir, you are on.
You're on mute, sir.
Yeah, now I request the accounter Toastmaster Vignesh to present his report.
Yes, today, Toastmaster Vishnu, no filler words. Toastmaster Abhirami was flawless. Toastmaster Abhilash used the repeated words I. DTM Sambat, flawless. Toastmaster Sharat, one time, pass one time. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, 2 times. Toastmaster Dilan Joseph used R 3 plus times, 1 time. DTM 1 time. DTM Venu used 1 time. DTM Sugandhi Periasamy was flawless. DTM Meena John was flawless. DTM Selvan used 1 time. Toastmaster Shivakumar used R 3 plus time, 1 time. Toastmaster Maithili flawless. Guest Devanai used R 3 plus times. Toastmaster Rekha used R 2 times, 3 plus times. DTM Virudurar was flawless. Back to you, DTM.
Thank you. May I ask DTM Venu, what was the report from Vignesh on your speech? Have you noted it? Toastmaster Shivakumar, table topic speaker. What was the accounter report on your table topic?
Me, right?
Yeah, Toastmaster Shivakumar.
Yeah, I had 3 plus hours and 1 hour.
Very good. I appreciate you because you have clearly noted that. So in future, you have to remember this and improve that particular aspect. Well done.
Sure,
okay, now let us invite the grammarian Lakshmi Narayan to present his report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I'm sharing my screen with the grammarian report. And today's speech, I first wanted to appreciate DTM Selvan and Toastmaster Maithili, guest Devayanai, Toastmaster Rekha, and DTM Vidur for using the word of the day. And to go with the good usages, whatever I captured so far, let me make it very crisp and quick. Okay, let's start with Toastmaster Dilan for his education session, where he used a different era, repetitive gesture, repetitive sounds. And the very important quote is, nothing is genuine without practicing, and practice in your life, not on this stage. These are the two very important quotes I captured from him. And one thing I want to mention from Q&A from DT Meena John, like he changed, not the speech. So coming back to the prepared speakers, DTM Venkat Krishnan used a lot of Tamil words as being a Tamil speech. And one thing very interesting about Tamil is we have that unique sound, nya, ra, no, right? So Mariyaranyargal is one such word which I really liked it. So it is very unique to certain languages, only Dravidian languages. So he used all this Devadai and all local Chennai Tamil slangs as well. And coming to DTM Venu Neelakandan as a prepared speaker too, some of the good usage is cool as cucumber and emotions are like garbage. For the table topic session, I captured few. DTM Nina John used the sweet tooth, which means a great liking for sweet tasting foods. And then Toastmaster Maidili beautifully explained about the reason behind her name, like Maithili, Janaki, and Sita, and Maithili being daughter of Janak and Maharaja. That was quite interesting topic. I just kept it as a special quotes. And then guess Devane used the word, used this quote like, keep letting go of things which doesn't interest you. So with that, I wind up my grammarian report and over to you, General Evaluator, DTM Sampath Sourirajan.
Thank you very much. Did you find many flaws in the grammar today's?
To be honest, I didn't see any flaws in it. I just tried to see only good in it, actually.
Why didn't you see? Because you are, by nature, you always see good points only and not bad points? Or because it is your duty to do that, right?
True.
There was quite a good scope for that. Okay. I have got one or two comments about these tag players. This is common not only for today's, everywhere I am seeing the same thing. This Excel table with a lot of columns, most of them empty, here and there some numbers. I don't think this is the best way of presenting. You can think about a better way of doing it. Whenever I was a timer or accountant or grammarian, I have used PowerPoint. So for example, first slide only for speakers, second slide only for evaluators, third and fourth slide for the table topics like this. And in big letters, an important thing is to highlight something. You have to highlight something today, what was special, like something which stands out. That is an important aspect which you can contribute. Thank you very much. The two speakers did a great job about emotional intelligence, the project, what it says. We could not directly get any insight depending on about the project itself, but the speech was a very good one relating to the topic. Similarly, the speech on the mentoring also, he gave an array of Madhi Aranyargal, and he explained certain points based on their contribution to it. And the two evaluators did a good job in general, but I have one complaint about many evaluators all over the place, not only here. Many of us tend to repeat what the speaker said. The speech content is beyond the scope of the evaluator. Because what a person speaks for 7 minutes, you can easily fill your 3 minutes with the stuff done. That is not the idea. What he said or what she said is not important for the evaluator. Except for one comment you can make, that the main message was a very good message. It was a relevant message for our times and our audience. Other than that, you cannot say anything about the content. You should not talk about what they said, should talk about how they said. So this is an important aspect. This is common everywhere I am finding this. You are not alone in that one. Now coming to the Toastmaster Day, Abhilash, I appreciate him with a big round of applause. Please join me for not selecting a theme for the day. We never had themes for regular meetings a long time back, but nowadays it has become a common thing. And more of the time, in my humble opinion, it is a pain rather than pleasure. Anyway, let us leave it at that. But Abhilash did a good job of enthusiastically opening and narrating and connecting things between when we came for the transition. Well done, Toastmaster of the day. And of course, the table topic master rose to the occasion, so to say, the contest season and the training today, and certain things related from that training was interesting mix, and people did a good job of responding suitably. Congratulations to all the people, and let me now ask the host to put up the voting panel for the best tag player, please. Best tag role player. It has vanished quickly. I don't know why. Okay, voting is over, I suppose. Before handing over, let me ask you a question because nobody asked me that question. In the beginning, I said evaluation is the third most important thing. The obvious question is, what are the first two? Can anyone answer the question now? Which is the most important thing in Toastmasters? Anyone?
What is
Okay.
the question?
See, at the beginning of the meeting, when I came, I said, evaluation is the third most important thing. What are the first two more important things than evaluation? What is the number one?
If we go by the protocol, the prepared speeches followed by table topics.
No, I'm not talking about sections. The first thing, most important thing in Toastmasters is coming and doing things, performing. It may be a role performance, it may be a prepared speech, it may be a table topic, anything. You come and do something. That is the first most important thing for our learning. The second most important thing.
Sir, you are on mute.
You're on mute, sir.
Automatically it is changing. I was speaking, suddenly it is going. Okay. First most important thing is performing, doing things, the roles, speeches, evaluation, anything. That is where maximum learning is there for us. The second most important thing is mentoring. That is how we actually enhance the performance proactively before coming on stage to perform. Evaluation is a reactive phase. After doing something, we get some feedback, we go back, and then in the next time we want to improve that. So mentoring and performing are more important than this. So we keep on parroting. Evaluation is very important. It is very important, but there are other things more important. Now I hand it over back to the TA body. Thank you very much for a nice evening.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Saurirajan. I am sure all of us are richer by those constructive suggestions and feedback which you have shared, and I think we can all take a pledge to implement that in the future meetings as we go forward. Thank you once again, distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Saurirajan. Once again, a very warm good evening. It has been such a pleasure hosting you all for today's evening as your Toastmaster of the day. I did have a lot of initial hesitance and trembling because of, I had to speak in Tamil, but I think I managed at least half a decent job. So distinguished Toastmaster Venkat's speech has left me, using my limited knowledge, one particular thing which came to my mind was this line in Tamil Thai, right? Right? So I realized what a gift we have all had through Tamil, and I think we should definitely take more initiatives to ensure that this gift reaches many more. And with those words, once again, thank you everyone. It's been a wonderful evening today. The entire thing, I request the host to please launch the polls for the best role player. And now a very fitting moment, I'm going to hand over the control to Tamizhootru's charter president and the current president, distinguished Toastmaster Pat. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Abhilash. Abhilash and Rekha, I think both of you evinced interest to speak in Tamil. It's your mother tongue. Therefore, I invite you to keep coming, participate in our meetings. Maybe you can even consider a dual membership at Tamizhootru.
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah. Moving to a personal engagement, I could not join in the beginning. Therefore, I tender my apology. I find a lot of names in CTM. I don't know, these are all new generation. How many of you know that I was born in CTM? In 2006, yes, Nina. In fact, Nina was the president who inducted me into CTM when I joined March 2006. Then I moved into CSF. After that, I shifted to MTC. Now I'm a dual member, Madras Toastmasters Club and Tamizhootru Chennai Solvendargal Mandram. So it's my privilege to be in your midst, also to close the meeting. Before that, let me invite some of the guests to share their opinion about the conduction of the meeting. Can I invite Aishwarya, guest Aishwarya? She is not here. Guest Avindra. Can you quickly?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Toastmaster, DTM, Pat. So my name is Avindra Pandey and I'm from Bangalore. So my expectation was to hear experienced Toastmaster here. And I'm totally amazed how you people are conducting this meeting, especially with DTM Sampath. And I was connecting more because he's an engineer and I'm also an engineer. And yes, it was overall very great experience.
Thank you, Avindra.
Thank you.
Yeah, we look forward to. In fact, if it is possible, please visit us next week. We are
sure.
250th landmark meeting.
It's my pleasure to meet.
Yeah.
Again. Thanks.
May I call Azhar? Azhar is there. Or Gopi, guest Gopi. Can you quickly share your opinion about the meeting?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to join this session as a guest. It's a wonderful session because this is the first time I'm participating in this kind of a meeting. So I feel that it helped me to develop my skills as well as gain some knowledge from you, Toastmaster. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity.
In fact, Toastmasters is a very strong platform to build our communication, leadership, and public speaking skills. Roshina.
Hi, good evening, everybody, and distinguished guests. It was a great opportunity for me to attend this. I'm from Kunnur in Tamil Nadu, but I'm currently attending this session from Saudi Arabia. My son, who is an engineering student in Chennai, he was attending. So I was partially attending it as my son was attending, and I was very much impressed about this. And I really appreciate the way the things were delivered, and it was a good understanding for me how to deliver speech, short and sweet. It was so nice. Thank you so much.
Great, wonderful. Finally, Naresh. Naresh, yes. Naresh.
Yes, sir.
You are.
Tamizhootru Chennai Solvendargal Mandram மற்றும் சென்னை சொல்வேந்தர்கள் மன்றம் என்ற இரு வெண்கொற்ற குடையின் கீழ் பொறுத்தாமர்களாய் விட்டிருக்கும் சொல்வேந்த பெருமக்களுக்கும் மற்றும் விருந்தினர்களுக்கும் என் இதயம் கனிந்த மாலை வணக்கத்தை உரித்தாக்கிக் கொள்கின்றேன். மன்ற கூட்டம் மிகவும் அருமையாக இருந்தது. நான் ஒவ்வொரு தருணமும் இதில் இணையும் போது மிக்க மகிழ்ச்சியும் எல்லா கவலைகளையும் துறந்து இந்த கூட்டத்திற்கு வருகை தந்து இதை நான் கவனித்திருக்கிறேன். மிகவும் நன்றி.
Come back, Naresh. Come back. We are waiting for you.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Do you have access to the results?
Hello,
Pat. I have shared you in the chat.
Chat box. Okay. Right. Here are the results of today's meeting. The best speaker goes to DTM Venkat. Give him a round of applause. And the best table topic speaker, Seethai endra Janagi endra Maithili avargal. The best evaluator, Rekha. And the best tag role player, grammarian, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan. And the best role player, Toastmaster Abhilash. So before I forget, we are celebrating our 250th landmark meeting next week. So it's going to be a different event. Obviously, landmark meetings are conducted in a different manner. So if you can find some time next week, we start by 4:45, 5 to 7, we will be having the meeting. Please do join us, and your presence can definitely strengthen us. So on this positive, pleasant, and productive note, I adjourn the meeting, both CTM and ours, to the next Sunday. If you want, we can have some personal chat, private chats.